Right, so match day, home game. What's happening?
Park the car on the main street, get the bag in the boot suit,
Yeah.
stroll in here, see who there is and say hello. Head along to the changing room, bag down, clothes off, changed.
Why did you come here?
David McGlynn was a pest, really. So I went from school. I went straight to Hearts, and then from there I went to Forfar. Having left there, Davey was on at me, mainly due to the fact his dad used to. Well, he was a chairman here, and he used to do the food and the lunches for Hearts. So we seen him in May.
What just for lunch?
Up there, it had to be pasta and stuff, but as soon as you left, you got your own stuff. Crisps and sweeties and just whatever.
Big Mac meals in that?
No, not Big Mac. No.
Burger King.
Big chicken sandwich. So Davey was obviously in there about me for there because his uncle John was the under-18s coach when I was at Hearts.
Got you, okay.
So I left there and went to Forfar, and Davey be pestering the press. I says, nah mate, I'm going to keep trying. Left Forfar, he was at me again. I said, nah mate, I'm going to. So I went to Arbroath. And then the first proper game for Arbroath of the season, I done my ACL.
Got you.
So, well, aye. But at the time, I never knew. I never knew what it was. And also at the time, I never had a physio up there. So that kind of compounded the misery, so to speak. So I'm travelling up there 3 times a week for nothing, to do nothing.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Aye. And I didn't mind it because the boys were great and what have you. We had a good car going up and.
But personally, though, it's a downer, isn't it? Like, you know, you want to be involved,
yes,
regardless.
Definitely.
And whoever tells you different is a liar.
No, they are. You want to be playing. If you're training, well, obviously I wasn't training either, but if you're going up there 2-3 times a week, you want to be involved in it, no on the outside, which is what you feel like when you're injured. So I came from there, done that, never had the physio, got the operation. That never worked because the Arbroath, aye, the vet. It was a vet. The Arbroath wanted it done up in Dundee, so they sent me to. I call the guy a vet because the scar's massive and it never worked. So I had to go and get a second operation in Edinburgh, and that was fine. After that, it was all right. Davey was still at me, so I said, right, I'll come down and train just to get myself fit. I was doing everything myself, so down at Fisher Row, good old Fisher Row training, horrible. Absolutely disgusting. Even worse when they're all training over there and you're over there just running a cone to cone just to try and get yourself fit. Monotony, but got there in the end. So the first time you're actually over there training with them, brilliant. It's like playing a game. And then the first game, I'm not actually sure. I think my first game was about Canoe. I'll need to get somebody to confirm that, but just getting on was brilliant. Great.
Where are we right now?
Olive Bank, Musselburgh.
Okay, so your house.
Pretty much, aye.
So not bad gaff. Not bad gaff. What was your first goal like?
I want to say brilliant, but I honestly can't remember it, to tell you the truth. 38 now, so it would have been a lot of years ago. 13 years ago.
Tell me the best goal you've scored on this pitch.
The best goal on this pitch?
Yeah.
I think it was Jackie Miles just played it in. I've turned inside and I went, pass it back, and I lefty. Zinger, top bin.
Top bin.
See you.
Posted stamp.
Oh, aye.
Keeper, no chance?
Nah, never.
Don't save those, eh?
No, they never do.
I like that. So how many goals are we on now?
227.
227?
Yeah.
In how many games?
388 is
388. So, 12 games. Are we counting pre-season?
No. No. If we're counting pre-season, it'd be about 700.
Right, so anyway, the last game of the season was at the weekend there.
Yes.
Talk to me about your stunt at centre-half. What were you? Were you Rio Ferdinand or Ryan Porteous or a Vidic?
It was just brilliant, to be honest. No, John spoke to me during the week. John was away on a stag do. Paige's been suspended, so they were down at the bare bones, basically at the back. So he'd said.
Gaffin never texted me, you know.
Did he not?
Gutted. Absolutely gutted, mate.
I must have changed that last digit. sorry mate. So he said, play centre half. I was like, mate, after easy. I've done it loads of times. Blatantly lying. I think I'd played there maybe once in a pre-season game at the second half or something.
As you get older though, you just say yes because you want to get on it. You just want to play, don't you? Right?
It's just even regardless of when it is or who
Yeah,
it's for.
yeah.
It's for the team, so I'm happy to play any of them. And that's what it did turn out. It was like Maldini, so. And there was a goal.
Talk me through the goal.
Corner.
Obviously, come up for the.
Aye, came in. Nobody tracked me, I think. I'm sure one of the boys was here on Saturday. The boy was trying to speak to me or something, and I just walked away from him. Balls came over, but he's missed it, put it in the back post.
Just as you like, mate. As you like. How's the legs?
Old, tired, stiff. Well, it's still alright.
Still alright, yeah.
Aye, not bad.
So, Musselburgh's season ended in a win.
Yes.
Overall, looking back.
Could do better.
Okay.
Should have done better.
Okay.
Started really well. Got a 10 or 11 game run of wins and draws, which probably kept us in the league, to be honest, because laterally we were pretty much shocking.
Yeah.
The majority of the weeks, and we were lucky that we had got the points when we did. If we never, well, like I said, we would have been in trouble. But ended on a high, a couple of wins, so happy with that. Looking forward to the next game season.
A few personal achievements for yourself.
Yep.
Okay, you've scored loads of goals, an amount of appearances, but it's the appearances we're talking about. For you personally, how does that feel?
It's a great achievement. It's not something I really think about, to be honest. It's just another thing. It's for other folk to speak about. I'm happy to have it.
You sure?
Oh, I absolutely delighted. No, I am, and I'm even more pleased now that Jackie Miles is over 300 appearances as well. Right. He's a good friend of mine, so I'm pleased he's got that as well.
So was that Jack and Victor vibes?
Jack and Victor. It was good, really good. Pleased for him.
So, Matthew, you know, I look at you and I think, wow, 13 years, goals, appearances and stuff. Why did you leave?
The main reason was I'd just had a kid and I was starting a new job. So the new job entailed shift work, and obviously a new kid, you'll know yourself that
100%.
you don't know what that entails at the start until 2-3 years down the line, and you can kind of get in a wee routine. So I spoke to Davey, and because I'd not been there at training because of shifts and what have you, I was on the bench and stuff like that, and you're not happy with that, but there was a reason for it, and he was right in the reason that I wasn't playing. So I just said to him, right mate, this has happened, the kid's here, new job, I'm going to basically take a step back. I was basically not going to play.
And how old were you then?
29?
29?
29 it was.
So was that year 2000?
No. When was it? 2013. That's when the kid came. 2013. So said that to him, spoke to him, fine, everything was fine. So I got released to the contract anyway, just to get released.
Yeah. Save the club money.
Pretty much. And know that it has been much, to be honest. And then a few weeks later, I've been speaking to Kieran, Renton, my mate, Chris King, my mate, Paul Tansey, my mate.
Good guys.
They were all up at Nitton. So he said, oh mate, I know you're away now, any chance you can come and help us out? I was like, right, okay. So I went up, played the 3 games trialist, signed for the end of the season. I think this was March time maybe. So I signed till the end of the season, and I thought, after the day I signed, after the third trialist, I never went back. I thought, nah, I didn't need this right now. Stuff happening, can't be bothered, blah blah blah. Never went back. And then the following pre-season, they signed a few decent boys up in there, and I thought, I better text them, see if I can get back in. So I messaged them and said, here, where's my phone call for pre-season?
Wrong digits.
Nah, it's the week. That happens, you know, it does happen. And so it was Alan Windy Miller up there at the time, and he says, oh, you can come in for pre-season, blah blah blah. I was like, okay.
Amazing.
So I didn't actually think I was going to get anything at that point, because he just signed Chris Renton and Kieran's little brother, great player. Chris King was still there. There was Sean Jameson had just signed.
Jamo's a good player.
Yep,
Left foot, Harry Potter settings.
Either foot. He's really good. So I went up there pre-season, worked hard, got myself a contract, got myself in the starting 11 for the start of the season. So stayed there for about a year and a half, and towards the end of the second season, kind of fell out with the assistant a little bit. Nothing too bad.
I used to do that a lot, mate, so don't worry.
It was nothing bad, and again it was.
Mine was.
It sounds like you would be. You're that type of character. So again, I thought, you know what, I didn't need this. Same job, night shifts, day shifts, here, you're all over the place, blah blah 100%. Blah. So I've left again, and then in the summer, Alvin's came in, who's another one. He's probably one of my best mates. He's phoned, right, mate, I'm going to take a muscle job. You want to come in and help me? As in playing wise.
Yeah.
So he's like, aye, no problem. So he's basically.
So was it like a Harry Redknapp kind of conversation?
Aye, pretty much. It's basically not. It's
to be fair, at this level, it mostly is, isn't it? It's just like, listen.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's basically pals.
Yeah.
Oh mate, you want to come back? Aye, no worries. So Kieran came back. Chris never. Who came back? We Skip, Sean Murphy, who's now at Tranent. Unbelievable. Brad Donaldson. Who else did we have? Michael Moffat signed. Another great lad, very underrated. Gary Cherry came for Nitton. Jono came for Nitton. DD came for Nitton. Michael Dellin came for Nitton. And then there was a few others. Big Scott McCulloch was here, he came for Penicuik.
Alright.
Great, another great guy. So we got relegated. Aye. We got relegated.
All these great players.
Honestly, it was one of the ones where I think it was
everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Pretty much, and
yeah,
not in a bad sense. So it was. I think we had 6 games left, and we needed to win 2. So, honestly, we went up to Bonnyrigg, beat them. So I think we've got 5 games to get 3 points, and I think we got 2.
Sounds like an Ole Gunnar social.
It was madness, honestly madness. But it's our own fault. Again, at the end of the day, it's our own fault. We never got the points, so nobody blame ourselves.
100%.
So we got relegated up at Genefield. I think it was basically a winner takes all sort of match. So they beat us 2-1. We got relegated. Nitton got in the playoff. They stayed up. The same night was the Player of the Year. So we were basically doing here having a relegation party, and it was actually a good night. Apart from obviously the relegation.
Obvious, yeah.
And so there and then at the night out we'd all agreed, right, we need to stay and right the wrongs, so to speak. And the following season we did, we only lost 1 game.
Brilliant. So you've right the wrongs.
Yes. Okay.
Let's talk about the journey with Mussy then, right? The goals. Can you pluck out a game where you thought that was my best game for this club?
No, really, to be honest.
Too many.
Aye.
No. Honest to God. No, but honest to God.
There's not been one I thought, by the way, that was brilliant today. It's just the one I've enjoyed most. We were playing Lockheed in the Scottish Cup, Scottish Junior Cup. We're away up there, and
tricky.
Aye, but I like it. I like Lockheed. I like it up there.
Were you the driver, or did you get the sweets?
Sweeties.
Haribo's, what are we talking?
No, we're on the bus. Sorry, we're on the bus.
Alright.
So we're on the bus.
Money, eh?
Obviously. So we're on the bus up there, and I had a sore foot for a while. So Calvin's like, play. Aye, no bother. So the physio's like, I don't think you should. So Calvin had sided with the physio on this occasion. I think he asked me earlier if time I'd been spewing at that. I was raging. But you need to do what the manager says.
Exactly.
So, and the fact is, my mate can't really know what fault your mate is. So, on the bench, 2-0 down after 15-20 minutes maybe.
Wow.
So you're secretly, I think he put me on 70 minutes maybe.
Okay.
So I've set up the first goal, had a hand in the second goal, and scored the winner with the last kick of the ball.
So was the celebration, did you cup the ears?
No. I think Kenny was up on the hill. There's a massive hill. You hear, yes! That's Kenny on the video. I think I ran away behind the goals, ran straight over the dugout. Everybody's just jumping on top of each other. May's on the pitch, Charlie's missus, she's run down, she's on the park. It was different class. So you speak to the ref, right, how long's left? That's it. Yeah. So they've took centre and that's it, game over.
Brilliant.
That's probably one of the best feelings.
And see that, right? You feel like you've achieved something, eh?
100%.
100%. Do you know what I mean? Like, curry. but seriously though, because like when you meet your friends, you talk about this game and that game, but like see after you've actually done it, people have got to talk about that game.
Aye, definitely.
And we're talking about this now, but people are going to talk about those games. And
there's people still mentioned it like that.
Do you know what I mean? And I think this level of football, junior level of football, low and whatever, right, this is where like the real football is, isn't it? You've got guys that are working, blah blah blah, and you go and do that, and you can still sit here healthy, be able to tell the story. Yep. Do you know what I mean? And I love that. And listen, mate, I applaud you for that.
I think if you ask anybody who played in that team, it's probably would be one of their favourite games. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
It was good. So we're moving on. Okay, you've had a bit of success here and stuff. What was the best trophy, or in fact the one you enjoyed winning the most?
Probably I say probably, but the league after we've been relegated, almost going unbeaten for the whole season. That was a good one, great achievement, and also one of my best mates as a manager. But then the following, I think it was 2 seasons later, to get into the Scottish Cup.
Yeah.
We played Mid Annandale at Blackburn. This is for the South Challenge Shield.
Was that the grass pitch?
No, it was on the Astro.
Was it on Astro?
Yeah. So we're playing them in a decider thing. I think Crossgates have just played Drumchapel and somebody else in it to try and get in the Scottish tournament. It's for teams that have not got our SFA licence.
Got you.
So at the time we never had it. So it was also, I was on 199 goals.
I thought you were going to say 199 grand out.
Right,
I was going to say.
I wouldn't be talking to you anyway, that's for sure.
Sorry, carry on.
No, so I was on 199 goals.
Uh-huh.
So we played a couple. I think they played Mid Annandale in a different cup at the start of the season. So we won 5-0.
Okay.
I was injured, so I couldn't play. I was like, surely I'm scoring today.
And as a striker, right? That's rubbish. Eh? When you see
Oh,
those goals, because you
honestly,
think
hate it.
I've missed chances.
I could have this. I could have that.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
happens.
what it is, yeah.
But that day I was like, come on, we beat them 5-0 at home on a warm day here, bit bobbly. We've got them on an Astro. We're a footballing team. We've got to bump them, and that was not being disrespectful, but we were good.
If you go by previous results,
yeah, and
you had the right to be confident.
Aye, and as it transpired, we did. We pumped them 7-0 in a final. I got 4, and Downey got 3.
Downey,
Daz
left
Downey.
foot. Oh,
Daz Downey.
Oh no,
Downey.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
I was thinking about Ian Downey for Go Bridgeway.
No.
He used to play for Tiny years back.
Nah, Darren Downey's better than him.
On record.
On record.
So alright, you win that, right? Talk me through it. Whistle's gone 7-0.
Celebrations were good. They were, I wouldn't say muted, but because we were confident, we've done the job.
Done it, like a professional job done.
The only good thing about it is we're now in the Scottish Cup, apparently.
Yeah.
Which it turned out we were, but COVID struck not long after, so everybody was in limbo at that point. Didn't know if there was going to be a Scottish Cup, didn't know if you would get in it. So after the game in the change room, everybody's delighted. Came back to the hole in the wall down the road because they would go there after the games. In there with the cup, loads of fans. Back in here, parties going, and then Geordie, the manager, his mum and dad were up, and so he must have been a straggler for the pub. His old boys walked along there. We've opened one of the windows and went, "Come on, you in you get." So he's trying to get in this window, and it was Geordie's dad, and he's scarfing and everything. He just jumps in the window, just jumps a bit.
Brilliant.
That's just like it's the stories. A community club. It's what you want, eh?
But it's you know listen, it's a great setup, and you know there's so many people that I've spoken to about this club, about the stories, the games, the people, you know, the people personally, you know, Amy, you know, like
Kenny.
What they do, Kenny, what they do for the club and stuff. It's brilliant. It's a proper family club.
I had the testimonial thing the other week there, and they asked me to do a programme, and I can't remember what the question was. I think it was about legends or something, and I quoted those two and I says they're maniacs because they do absolutely everything, but they're maniacs in the great sense of the word.
Yeah.
I think half the stuff here wouldn't happen without those two.
So that's a nice sidestep. The testimonial, the lads, the white trainers. How was that for you?
My good old mate Peter.
Yeah, you and Peter. Talk me through it.
It was good. A good day. Good to see some old faces. Some boys I hadn't seen for a few years. Some that I'll be playing in. There's a testimonial game coming up soon, so some will be playing in that as well.
Brilliant.
And it was just a good day. A Sunday sesh. Don't get many of those nowadays.
True.
So yeah, good laugh. The speakers were good. I enjoyed both of them, regardless.
So just a little side note on that. You went up for a few questions.
Yes.
You know, obviously, listen. You're used to being spoken to, asked questions and that. What was different about that one?
Nothing really. I like to have a laugh, and I'm very dry majority of the time.
Never.
And I don't think you could take to that. Oh, that's certainly how it came across on his show the following night, but it is what it is.
I said it's part and parcel, you know.
100%.
At the end of the day, I think, you know, listen, the two speakers, they like to have a laugh.
Yes.
And you were the subject, and it's either
Which, to
you
be
drown or
honest,
swim.
I'd rather not be the
Yeah.
I didn't like speed setting attention,
Yeah.
to be quite honest with you, but
I'm lucky for today.
yeah, 100%.
I hope Curry watches.
Oh, Corell watches, don't you worry. I'll make sure of it.
Okay, finally, before we go
Paul.
into something else. We're just going to go into a few personal awards for you. Okay, not about yourself, but regarding your colleagues. The best player you've ever played with?
Ability-wise would be Chris King. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Whatever you want him to do with football, he'll do it.
Do it.
He would, the ball would go out on this side, he'd swing the corner on the right, it'd get flicked out the other side, he'd run over, swing it on the left, and they'd be the exact same corner. Unbelievable. He was lazy. And he's another one of my best mates, and he'll say it himself, for me, if he wasn't lazy, he could have been anywhere he wanted to. Just a better attitude than he would have been anywhere.
Who, I won't say lazy now because obviously you mentioned your mate there. Who's the best striker of a ball?
Darren Downey.
Yeah.
Oh, he could kill somebody with a football, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
Do you remember that famous quote by Fergie? Or you could have killed someone.
Oh, really? No.
The tackle with Phil Jones.
No.
Someone tackled Phil. No, I believe someone tackled Alan Smith. And Fergie went, oh, you could have killed him.
Oh,
could have
really?
killed him on something, yeah.
Oh, no, I've never heard that one.
No, that's alright. But okay, so best striker of the ball. The most silkiest. As in FIFA settings, step over, bring it back, flick it, anything like that.
Musselburgh, had to be Musselburgh.
Yeah. No, that you've played with.
Well, probably apart from Kingy, who he could do whatever. I played with a boy at Hearts, David McGowan. He was different class as well. Any trick you wanted, he would have done it.
Wow.
And that was at 18, I think he was. So he was sulky.
What about the greediest?
Ooh. Chris King was pretty greedy again. He's getting all the airtime.
I know, right? I might tag him on the
Jordan Smith. Nowadays, I've had a few shouts at him, but no in a bad way. It's just I only really shout because I've ran and I'm knackered. And fair to have your shot, but I'm knackered, and it means I've ran for nothing.
For nothing, no. I'm with you. If he scores, you continue the run towards him.
Well, we played Loch Gelly not long ago, and it was one. I don't know if I'd set him up or whatever. Somebody was through, and I'm standing in the middle. He has to just cut it across. He's hit it, and it's went right. Here you. What's your problem? Do you not like me, son? 2 minutes later, Jordan! I must have shouted his name 4 or 5 times as loud as I could, and I think he must have shot himself. He's just put it straight across and he scored. So he couldn't complain, but he's up there.
What about timekeeping wise? You know when
Ross McRae.
Straight away.
Absolute disgrace. If you're late on a match day, yes, if you're late on a match day, it's a fiver. I think he's only not paid a fiver 3 or 4 times.
Was he like bank transfer now? Just like
John was right on, right you, fiver, right you, fiver. And I don't know if he's thick or what, but unreal.
And then my last one. Who is a few sandwiches away for a picnic?
Again, Ross would be up there. Jono. But I think Jono's smart, but he has lost a couple of sandwiches. Because he's just off his nut. He's an absolute space cadet. But somebody you love in the changing room and somebody you love in your
They're
team.
vital, aren't they?
Oh,
they're very vital.
100%.
Very.
But he's a maniac as well.
That's good. So before we go on to another setting, we're in the changing room right now. Obviously, what happens in the changing room stays in the changing room. Any funny stories that's happened in here?
No.
That you're allowed to publicly say?
No.
I love that, mate. I love that.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Right, we're in the dugout. It's actually not bad, to be fair, compared to a junior.
They're actually knocking them down.
Are they knocking them down?
They're getting new ones for next season, aye.
So, the games that you're on the bench, right, sitting where you're at home, what's the thought process?
This is an absolute disgrace. Why am I sitting here? Nah, I'm only kidding.
No, it's not.
to be fair, watch the game, see what's happening. Check the strikers out.
Yeah.
Because obviously I might be on the subs bench, but I'm wanting them to do well. I'm wanting them to score. They are hopefully my prodigies. So when they score, I score, if you know what I mean. It's nice when they get goals, and to see the elation on their faces, it makes me happy as well. But I'm also obviously thinking, right, I maybe not going to need to stretch my legs now. Do a wee bit jogging, get moving, because I might be needed. And more often than not, I have been in some sense of the word. So that's probably that.
Do you know what I'm gonna jump in here? Do you know when I'm on the bench, right? I'm looking at the manager and I'm thinking, how have you not picked me? So I know you're saying the process doesn't come to your head sometimes, but as a younger Kingy, did that ever come through your mind?
No, really, but I was a pain in the arse. There was the one game away we were playing in Dundee, and it was McGlynn. So what I used to do was, it was me, Ryan McCallum and Chris King. So one of us would play the whole game, one would play an hour, and one would get half an hour. So you kind of knew what you were doing every game. So we're in Dundee, and we're sitting, it's my turn to start on the bench, so I'm just sitting like this for the whole of the first half. And he put me on at half time just to shut me up. So back then, there's maybe not a wee bit of maturity, but I just like having a laugh regardless.
What stand are we in now?
The Belmont stand, I believe it's called, yes.
Okay.
Who've been good sponsors for the club. Yeah.
Nice wee plug for them right there. Tranent, Penicuik. The reason I bring them up is, you know, when you think about the clubs on this side of town,
Yes.
okay, it's yourselves, Musselburgh, Tranent, and Penicuik, and I hope I'm
Haddington
not
up now as well. Haddington up.
Recently, you know, you can say Haddington. Like, what's your thoughts on that little title race? That's obviously Tranent have now won. Were you surprised that Penicuik didn't win it with the lead that they had?
To be honest, as it went on, we were never going to catch anybody, so you sort of distance yourself with looking at the top of the table and caring, so to speak, who's going to win it. Got you. But probably having more mates at Tranent than I do Penicuik, I'm happy for them anyway. Yeah. As also, I know the chairman Matty Wright as well, who's a great guy too. So I'm happy for them. Obviously disappointed for Tranent, it's a shame. Tansy's there, Tansy's a good mate. I was gutted for Tansy. Excuse me, I was happy for Callum and the Tranent boys, the boys that I met and like made me feel really welcome. And gutted for Tansy at the same time, because you know what I mean. And also Liam Robertson. I was gutted for them, and someone had to win it, mate. And someone had to lose, right. You know. And fair play to Tranent, they plugged away, and they got over the line.
Do you think the playoffs, the way they're set, do you think it's fair?
No, I don't think it's fair on any of them. Like, there's a lot of folk being quoted in the media. I think it's Darvel's manager, he's been vocal, and he's right, that they've won their league, so what? 2 of them are going nowhere. Yeah. 2 teams that have won a league are going nowhere, and it's not fair enough. And how do you change it? How do you balance it? What would you do? If someone said to you, right, you're on the board, blah, 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 how would you change it? It's hard due to the fact that if you were to relegate 3 from the low end, it depends who's coming down. Yeah. Because the 3 that are going up are coming from different places. Yeah, so you'd have to respectively fill 3 leagues. Yeah. So, for what I'm hearing, Vale Leeds are coming to our league. Okay. So, there's one in us, which, if Tranent don't go up, Lothian and Thistle are going to have to go down. Yeah. Because they're wanting, I think, a 16-team league for us next season. Yeah. So again, they've done all they can to stay in the league, having beaten Nitton on Saturday, they've beaten Hillbeath the week before, and they still don't know if they're going to be in our league next year. Which again is a shame for Ryan and his players. Yeah. It's a bit of turmoil, isn't it? And, and the reason I'm asking you this, because it's on Twitter, social media now, people are talking about what's going to happen, because respectively, you've slugged it out, you've won the league. And you might not get rewarded. You might not get rewarded. That's it, isn't it? You get a trophy, yes, brilliant. But you get the day, the night, the weekend, you know. And you might get nothing else. But you go, by the way, go and play another 2 games and we'll see if you get up. I think, you know. Doesn't make sense. Listen, the powers that be will probably have to have the conversation, people that are higher than us, but I think it's quite harsh, isn't it? Because, you know, when you were younger, you just went up to the other league when you won the league. You just went up. You know, even amateurs now. Well, I've seen somebody on Twitter about that. Amateurs are much better set than this pyramid carry on or whatever they're calling it. Do you know, like, with amateurs, it's very simple. You just go up. You know what I mean? Okay, you get to the Premier. If you win the Premier, you stay in the Premier. That's it. Scotland national team. Can we do it? Yes, hopefully. As long as it's not like Eurovision.
That was a
we
bit of
let
a
them
farce,
have it.
that, eh? That was a bit of a farce.
Well, I only seen it in the papers. I never watched it like yourself, but
Politics.
hopefully.
I honest to God,
I think we can beat Ukraine.
I think we can.
No, to be honest, I think we can beat them both. But Wales will be tougher.
Yeah,
a lot tougher.
yeah, because of the personnel.
Yeah.
And obviously, there'll be more.
Gareth Bale will be fresh because he only plays for Wales. So
You can say that.
so would you?
Matthew King, this has been your life. Thank you so
Thanks,
much, mate.
Mr. Aspel.